right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Nick says, new listeners probably aren't subscribed and can't comment. WIO_Bones says, new old listener. Have we spoken before? Send me an email. I always like to hear from new people. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. These, locally, there have been several stories where giant companies, let's say Microsoft, wants to build a data center, which I'm not kidding you. I didn't even know what that was until I started seeing these stories. Whenever this is happening, the locals rebel. They don't want data centers in their town. The protests that go on when companies like Microsoft say they want to have a data center in a community are bigger than the protests in Minneapolis over ICE. 100,000 people march through Lowell Township, Michigan. And 100,000 people tried to pack into a board meeting last night. Everybody pissed off and impassioned because of the data center that Microsoft wants to build. Now, as far as I know, hang on, I got to sneeze. As far as I know, the data center is built. There's all sorts of high-tech equipment inside to do what data centers do, which I'm not even entirely sure. I do know that they, according to, only because I've heard it from you guys and followed these stories, they use up a lot of energy and they utilize a lot of water to keep them cool. Now, they don't run in water, but the water is used, I guess, with cooling centers that pump cold air into where all of these servers are because they generate a lot of heat. Now, I don't know why you need water to do that. I think you just turn on the air conditioning, but whatever the fuck. I guess the data centers use a bunch of water. So that's all people need to hear. They need to, and they make noise. They hum. So people in Lowell Township, the latest community where the locals are furious. If you went and shot a black guy who was protesting in downtown Grand Rapids, less people would be outraged than if Microsoft wanted to build a data center. It's that big of a deal, I guess. Stevie says, I don't get it. They don't want jobs in the area. Well, I don't know how many jobs would happen because of a data center. I mean, building it would no doubt require some contract work. But I'm not even sure what the advantages are for the community. Chris says it's no different than keeping your car cool. Just a cooling system. Okay. Man Bun Chris says, big job is trying to improve our community. Tofus adds, the data center wouldn't be a lot of jobs, few people to upkeep it. Okay, that makes sense. WIO_Bone says, just subscribe. I appreciate you and thank you. Nick, who's an electrician, says the AC uses water-based cooling on the outdoor cooling towers. It evaporates and comes back as rain. Every large building uses water cooling. So does that mean that the water it uses is not a factor? I have no idea. This is all new to me. WIO _ Bones says it stresses the grid as well. Anyway, that's all you need to do is say to the locals, hey, we're thinking data center. And then everybody loses their shit. That happened again last night. Tensions are high.
Township held a board meeting tonight amid community controversy surrounding a proposed data center in the area.
This comes after the board canceled its meetings twice this month over capacity and the other time due to weather.
News 8's Katani Gooch was at the meeting and joins us in studio now with a recap.
I love Gooch.
After having to reschedule due to capacity issues multiple times.
Wasn't there a character on Different Strokes that Arnold referred to as the Gooch? He was like the bully.
Tonight's meeting had a different home to accommodate the size of the crowd. Community interest for this proposed data center has always been high, but recently it's reached a new height since the announcement from Microsoft introducing itself as the company behind the potential data center.
So wait a minute, they were interested in it, and then they found out it was Microsoft, and then they weren't interested after that?
How many of y'all are in favor of having a data center in our community? Okay.
Oh, you hear that? This chick, she's like, how many? They're all boo.
How many of you all say no Microsoft? Stand up, raise your hand.
They hate Microsoft.
Although there was nothing on Monday night's agenda pertaining to the data center, public comments were similar to what's been expressed by residents in the past few months.
They don't want the data center because
I'm old.
nobody can guarantee that it's not going to upset the balance out.
You can't trust a guy who pronounces it guarantee, which that's Jim Turner here.
That it's not going to upset the balance out here, at least not with anything that's been said thus far.
Upset the balance, like the chicken slaughterings and the farms.
Growing concerns surrounding things like clean water, noise pollution, increasing electricity bills, and an overall lack of transparency.
The last several summers in a row, we've all had odd even water shutoffs and things like that for sprinkling and that, and they're trying to tell us that it's...
This guy reminds me of somebody who should be selling Quaker Oats on TV.
They're already overstretched.
The biggest demand requested by multiple residents was for Township Supervisor Jerry Hale to rescind an NDA he claimed to sign with the company.
The board is not being very transparent.
What's up with her?
They are using the NDA that was signed.
Okay, this is a hard living line woman here.
At Jerry Hale.
She is a lol 9.
Admitted to in a previous board meeting.
It sounds like she swallowed her tongue.
And hiding behind a lot of
What's up with those eyes?
Things.
Quit moving your eyes around when you talk. You
questions
fucking weirdo.
Pertaining to those concerns were posed to the board during the meeting.
How many of you have a non-disclosure contract with Microsoft or anything to do with this?
But were met with silence.
You guys aren't even willing to say you've got a non-disclosure contract. Then how can anybody trust you in the first place?
Yeah! Fuck you. Fuck your dad.
Demands not just falling on board members.
Look at this kid in the background. Somebody brings a kid to this? What asshole mom brings a kid to this?
But the company behind the proposed data center as well.
There was no trust. If Microsoft wanted to come in and be a good neighbor, why did they need to hide it?
She sounds like she's about to burst into tears.
Why non-disclosure agreements? We need to hold our governments, all those stakeholders, we have to hold them accountable to what they're doing.
She sounds like what's that guy's name? RFK Jr.
And the way to do that is through open, honest, and transparent conversations.
And there was no representative from Microsoft present at tonight's meeting.
I guess my question is, what does a data center, how does that help the community? Is there anything in it for them? Tyler was thinking the same thing as me. She sounds like RFK, therefore must be me-marted. Cole says, buy all these hilljacks out, bulldoze the town, and build multiple data centers with its own nuclear power plants. Man Bun Chris says, it's like someone told these people, go be upset. But why? I don't know. Just go be upset. Topher says it does nothing for the surrounding town. If they want to build that, they should have to have something in it for the community who's hosting it. Like if they're going to, I mean, because I kind of agree if they build it, doesn't have a lot of staffing, and it can put the grid, it can compromise the grid. It's loud, it's ugly. And, oh, by the way, the community that's hosting doesn't get anything for hosting. Topher says if that's going in there, most likely tax breaks. You mean for Microsoft or for the community? I mean, because I think that anybody, I think the great Ted DiBiase once said, everybody's got a price. I'm being told Big Buddha has a good comment. That industry is what pays my bills. I work for a tech manufacturer. There's a lot of misinformation about data centers, mostly due to the fault of the owners not being transparent with the construction details. I was at an industry conference last week, and they shared that we have 3 containers on the moon right now running off solar. It doesn't matter if we like data centers and AI or not. It's coming. Wait. We have 3 containers on the moon running off solar. What, like a shipping container or like a Tupperware container? What container are we talking about here? And what do you mean it's running off solar? So is that the idea that they've put a giant shipping container that's running on the moon? You know, that sounds like a whole bunch of bullshit. I think it actually sounds like you spoke out of your asshole. I don't doubt that industry pays your bills, but I think there is zero truth to the moon has containers on it that are running off solar. What the fuck are you talking about? Containers and what's operating off solar? Chris says Chinese food containers. I think you made that up or someone told you. WYO says it's not untrue. They are studying the seismic activity on the moon. Patrick says the solar shipping container helps make the cheese in which the moon is made of. Roost State Blob adds, is the moon a planet or is the moon the moon? Ashley says, a fucking moon? What the fuck are you talking about? I love you. Fuck you. Big Buddha says, yes, shipping containers, basically. One of them tipped over, but is still operating. Data centers on the moon. No cooling is needed. I'll send you a link. You have to send it via email. WYO_bones follows up with, I work closely with professors that are actively trying to work on this. Data centers on the moon. Lone Star is pioneering data centers on the moon with successful tests of and plans for deploying commercial data storage on the lunar moon by the early 2030s. These facilities aim to provide secure off-Earth and resilient storage, leveraging the moon's vacuum for cooling and unlimited solar energy to address terrestrial energy constraints. Okay, so it's a great idea. I don't see anything about shipping containers yet, though. Are you sure they're there now? Don't you think we would have heard about that? You just said there's 3 shipping containers on the moon and 1 tipped over. Are there any data centers on the moon right now? No. There are no fully operational large-scale data centers on the moon right now. Okay, wait a minute, though. It says Lone Star has successfully landed small experimental data storage payloads, mini data centers on the lunar surface in early 2025. All right. They launched their Freedom hardware data center payload in early 2025, which landed on the moon, proving basic functionality despite landing on its side. Okay. This is a full apology to Big Buddha. I said you were talking out of your asshole. Lone Star. And I now believe that you are correct. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, we've had a rover driving around on Mars for 20 years. Why would you not believe this? Well, I'll explain it to you, cock. Because I hadn't heard of it. Nobody told me. You do understand, don't you, that for 20 hours a day, every day, I am getting notifications about everything going on in the world. There is nothing I am not aware of. I work closely with okay, I already read that one. All right, so Big Buddha is correct. They are on the moon. That's a great idea. David says basically if Easy hasn't heard it, it's not true. So if the data centers are on the moon, I'm curious as to how. I guess they just send it. Hey, here you go. They just send it, beam it down to us. Bread Bull Brain Chris says people are scared to tell Easy things. He might unleash the wrath on them. Yeah. I mean, like earlier, the wrath was unleashed. That was definitely full of wrath. Well, all right. So go ahead then and build it on the moon then. And then you don't have to build it in Lowell Township. Big Buddha. Watch streak reached. You are on a 3-stream streak. Congratulations to Big Buddha. I don't even know why that's important, but thank you. Shedeur Sanders of the Cleveland Browns had one of the shittier years that anyone had ever seen or heard. Okay, he's the guy who barely got drafted. He is the, he was drafted in the 5th round. He thought he was going to be the top pick, but no one told Shedeur Sanders that he stinks. He had a big draft party at his house. Remember that one? And then he had like 500 people at his house that his dad paid for. Deion Sanders. He doesn't get drafted. Some punks get his number and prank call him and tell him he got drafted by whatever team. That was hysterical. He stunk all year. He played in 8 games somehow. The Browns are horrible. In 8 games, he passed for 1,400 yards. Now, if you extrapolated that out, they play 17 games a year. That means he would have finished with probably less than 3,000 yards for a season, which is horrible. He threw 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Not great at all. The quarterback rating. So, if your quarterback rating is 70, you're shit. His was 18.9. He completed a little bit more than half of his passes he threw. Garbage. And he just got announced as a Pro Bowler. That's like football's equivalent to the All-Star game. I don't know how that's even possible. Shedeur Sanders was added to the 2026 Pro Bowl roster. Now, I don't think they actually play a game anymore. They used to take the best players from each conference and they play. I think that the risk of injury is kind of like a problem. I think they play like flag football or some shit. But still, just the being told that you're a Pro Bowler, I mean, that means something. But now he isn't like a starter. He's not like a first-team All-Pro. But he was the 5th-round rookie. He's been added to the roster as a replacement. I would rather go with no one. I would rather take someone in the stands than this guy. 5.7% of the time that he has the ball in his hands, a turnover happens. The guy's a turnover machine. I think the local Cleveland TV station did a story about this. Hey, this is Eric Zane, and your information is being sold online. The personal stuff. Search your own name. It's surprising what's out there. That's because people are taking your information and they're selling it. I've got a way to make all of your personal information disappear. You are not for sale. Whether you agreed to it or not, that information is available for people to buy and sell. Not okay. It's 100% true. Data brokers make billions selling your private details, and you get nothing. You don't even get a choice. Aura lets you fight back. AURA. They remove your personal data from broker sites and keep it off. Aura also alerts you fast if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura is more than just data broker removal. It's a full digital security suite that protects every part of your life online. Aura gives you a VPN to stay private, antivirus to block threats, a password manager to keep login safe, and spam call protection to cut off the scammers. Aura also scans the dark web for your most sensitive info like your social security number, bank logins, and passwords, and notifies you instantly if they are exposed. And if your identity is ever stolen, you're backed up by up to $5 million in insurance and 24/7 U.S.-based fraud support to help you recover quickly. And right now, you can try Aura free for 14 days when you visit aura.com/remove. AURA.com/remove. That's enough time for Aura to start removing your personal information from data broker sites. Sign up today at aura.com/remove and get the peace of mind that your privacy, identity, and finances are safeguarded. AURA.com/remove. Certain terms apply. See the site for details. Various comments here. Audience members are like, EZ, what happened to you? I don't know. I think it's back now, though. Here's the local TV station doing their story on this Shedeur Sanders thing being the
The CBS 19 Sports Report is sponsored by Rec Law. Well, hello and welcome to Sports. I'm Jimmy Steerfoss. We're glad you're with us. Well, after going in the 5th round of the NFL draft and playing in just 8 games this season, Tyler-born Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler. Reports came in today that that is saying Shedeur Sanders has been added as a Pro Bowl replacement. He'll be filling in for Drake May, who's going on to play in the Super Bowl. Sanders is the first 5th round rookie to make the Pro Bowl since Puka Nacua did it. Browns quarterback tossed it for 7.
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
Touchdowns, 10 interceptions with a completion percentage just over 56% in those 8 games played. He's also got the 5th most popular selling jersey in the league. The Cleveland Browns are now still without a head coach, but hey, they got a Pro Bowl quarterback, something they haven't been able to say since Derek Anderson was tossing it.
Okay, he needs to say what is on his mind, and that is, this is embarrassing. What the hell is wrong with people to make this guy a Pro Bowler? WYO Bones says this guy is way too hyped. Nick says, wow, he is trying too hard. Chris says, remember when they used to play flag football on the beach, then multi-million-dollar players started blowing out knees in the sand. Tyler adds, a Pro Bowl selection used to be an honor for players. I feel like this has completely tarnished that. Okay, so they don't do the flag football. What the hell do they do? Anything? What happens in the Pro Bowl games? I think they do like cornhole, maybe? No. They do a 7-on-7 flag football game. Fun, non-contact challenges. Precision passing contests. So that means like Shedeur Sanders, when he's involved in that, there's a chance he's going to hit somebody in the stands. They play dodgeball, longest drive, so I guess like a golf thing, and relay races, gridiron gauntlet, tug of war. All right. So it's a made-for-TV event. Other popular events, best catch and kick-tack-toe. I'm not sure what goes on in kick-tack-toe. They revamped it because of player injury concerns. Yeah, people have said it's meaningless. Well, of course it's meaningless. You got to pay them. You got to give them like money to make it have meaning. Man Bun Chris says they still have the All-Pro Award, which holds more weight. This is just a circus and trying to get people talking during the break between the playoffs. I think Goff got selected as an alternate, too. WYO_Bones says it's kind of fun to watch, to be honest. I think it is. I think you're right. Patrick says field day. Yeah, they got to do the one where you put the spoon in your mouth and then the egg on the spoon and egg. Or maybe like 3-legged race. You could do that one. Or crab walk. Red Rover's a good one. But Shedeur Sanders is a huge pile of shit. I would be embarrassed to be there. I would decline it, knowing that I suck. All right, folks, I want you to hold right there because your old pal Easy has to use the boys' room. Smear the linebacker, maybe. That reminds me of when we used to play Smear the Queer, which I don't think you can say that anymore. You no longer can say. I know you can't say N-word pile. And Smear the Queer is a problem, too. Definitely not going to say that. Sit tight. I'll be back. Thank you for holding. I just heard from audience member WYO_Bones. I don't know if that person, I'm not going to say the real name because you never know. You know, somebody might be like running from the FBI or something like that. Because I'm like, hey, send me an email. And it's already happened. And I was going to the bathroom, holding on to my little pecker, and I read the email. WYO_Bones writes, "Hey, man, I got a chance to hop in the Twitch show. I'm glad. It seems it's doing quite well." It's okay. Thank you. You helped me through my addiction, and we had a short run. We had a short run of trying to find me a girlfriend in a past life. We did. I married a beautiful woman from South Haven, Michigan. And after a brief stint in Idaho and Vegas, we have settled down in North Carolina and plan to start a family. That is fun. Red Bull Brain Chris says, hiding from ICE. I don't think so. The name is not a Gonzalez or a Hernandez. Thank you, as always, to the sponsors. Hello to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Buy now, refinance later. 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505. Mario's been with me for almost the entire run of this podcast, which we are more than 7 years into it. It's remarkable that that amount of time has happened. 231-332-6505. Get your mortgage pre-approved and then start shopping for your house from anywhere in the U.S. If you get your insurance through healthcare.gov or the Affordable Care Act, new changes to the law might have you a bit confused. Frank Fuss can help you with any problems. Go to appointmentwithfrank.com, and he is your licensed independent insurance agent / broker that can answer any of your questions and can help you out with no matter what you need. There is no charge for his services. He's going to get you into the best policy for you and yours if you are like me and you get your insurance from the marketplace / Obamacare. Go to appointmentwithfrank.com. All right, I'm trying to plot this out, how much time I have left to talk to you based on how much material I have left to share with you. So I'm going to hammer out these next two sponsors before I get to my next story. All right. Thank you to Pinball Land. Actively trying to schedule a date for our next pinball tournament / orgy. If you want to have pinball fun in West Michigan, head up to Rockford to Pinball Land. Great retro spot for all sorts of retro arcade fun. Pinball, video games, you name it. $9 for 1 hour unlimited play, $15 for 2 hours, $20 all day. People do make a whole day of visiting that downtown business district of Rockford. And you could go bowling. You could hang out. You could get something to eat. You can play pinball, more bowling, more pinball, sex on the street, pinball-land.com. And finally, in West Michigan, when it comes to tree care, Kuiper Tree Care can help you out. They can help you get rid of unwanted trees, stump grinding, tree risk assessment to see if there's anything wrong with your trees on your property, tree trimming, or storm cleanup. Kuiper Tree Care, Kuiper, treecare.com, 616-828-8225. I've got a report from the field that with the blizzard that is hitting where I'm at right now, that there is another massive pile up on the road. We go to our eye in the sky. Jacqueline, this is your father on my podcast. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Word on the street is you are witness to a massive pileup on M6.
Well, no, I don't see it, but like the cop cars are just outside our building, like preventing anybody from going further.
Your mother.
But I don't actually see the pileup.
Yeah, I think we're getting the telephone game there because your mother said there's a massive pileup and Jackie's watching it.
No, she said there's a 20-car pileup on M6, and I said there's cops right outside our window at work, and I think they're shutting it down.
Oh my God. What about the DS case? Has that been found?
No.
Okay.
Why are you podcasting right now?
What do you mean?
You always podcast this late?
Yeah. Typically, it starts at 10.
Oh, it's only 11:30. I didn't realize it was still so early.
Okay. How is my car that I'm buying back from you?
It's back at Irvine's.
What's the matter?
I was driving to work yesterday, and the check engine light started flashing, and it would not accelerate and was going to go down to 0 miles per hour. So I had to pull over and then turn it off and turn it back on, and then it worked. And then I took it to Irvine's. But they haven't told me what's wrong with it yet.
Uh-oh. Damn.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that it's broken forever and I can just throw it away.
Okay. Sounds great.
But you can still buy it and give me the money.
All right.
I feel
I'm sorry, what?
I feel like I hear dogs snoring.
No.
Oh.
There's no dogs in here.
Oh.
All right. Sorry about your car.
That's okay.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Dad, I gotta go. Stevie says your car is fucked. I hope not. Tyler says, yeah, basically, Jackie, yeah, real bummer for whoever is buying this car. I'm surprised she didn't call me and tell me about this. I found out right then and there. This fat asshole is this dumb idiot went online and she was trying to, well, she made a post and made a comment online on social media. She doesn't like Trump. So she actively was asking for anybody who is like terminal cancer, who is also a good shot, if they could do something terrible to the president. This woman is scared shitless. And she's in trouble. I don't know how the authorities were made aware of it, but this is a problem. It's not a great idea to publicly say something like that. You can think it. She's a librarian in West Virginia. She was arrested for recruiting people on social media to unalive the president. Posted videos with captions asking for a sniper with a terminal illness. My God. Further details will be released as we continue to compile facts and further the investigation. Now, I don't think I think she was just being an idiot, probably. I think the only thing that she could assassinate is an old country buffet. WYO says, did you cover that guy that was grave robbing and selling the bones on Facebook? Yes. I think we did that last week. The announcement came after it was posted a video that Morrow repeatedly posted. This is
people going, yeah.
This is her. I don't know what the fuck she's doing in this video. She's hard to look at, though. I'm not going to lie.
People going, you can't say that. You can. You can. I did.
And then shortly thereafter, you could see the caption. She appears to call for someone to unalive Trump, while other commenters call to also unalive Stephen, don't know how to say it, Miller, Larry Ellison, and Peter Thiel. I don't know who those people are, but I've heard those names. The Jackson County Public Library posted a statement on Facebook Sunday evening, shortly before the sheriff announced this chick's arrest, saying the usual, we don't support, these are not our views, these are her views. Okay. There's a whole thing going around that is being described as assassin culture. Assassination culture is on the rise, especially among women, study warns. New survey shows 67% of left-leaning respondents see political violence as justified, compared to 54%
Style
on the right.
and substance.
I don't know what the fuck that noise is.
In the GM.
And I think that's normal. I mean, you have right now, I think more and more women feel like their rights are being trampled, and they are. You know, you just look at Roe v. Wade being abolished in the first place, and that's enough to make any woman that loves abortion want that to happen. Like, I know for a fact there are several women that listen to this show that abortion is their jam. All right? If they weren't barren, they would be having an abortion right now. And I've always said that I am here to support those abortion-loving women. Rebecca says Stephen Miller is the worst human alive. Stevie refers to them as Trump's ass-kissing buddies. He's basically the brains behind Trump. Rebecca says Stevie and I get BOGO abortions weekly. Stevie says she's got one today. Stevie loves abortion so much, even though she's like 94 years old. On the black market, it's a kink. You have them stuff a baby inside of you, and then they'll basically give her an abortion. It's the old black market abortion. She loves this. Rebecca says she's going to get one tomorrow at 2. Now, I don't like abortion. And but I can't get in the way of women that want one. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. I am completely out of things to talk about today, except for the asshole of the day. If you have a nomination, by all means, I would love for you to share it with me. WIO Bone says it is Donut Dan. I will be on at 2 p.m. with Christian Blatt for Who Are These Broadcasters? That show at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. If you'd like to watch Christian Blatt and myself do the show, you have to go to Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. The show starts at 2 p.m. Side note, we are recording alternate programming for the Super Bowl halftime show. Not today, but next week, we are going to record alternate programming for the Super Bowl halftime show. So when the Super Bowl happens, you can watch our show instead of the Super Bowl halftime show. And this is probably stealing thunder, but it doesn't matter. Christian's best friend, because a lot of you don't know, in fact, dare I say all of you don't know who Christian is. But Christian is a radio guy who for a good portion of his career, well, actually, he started out as a page on Saturday Night Live, which is an entry-level position, and he made a friend on there who was one of the cast members. And the cast member started to do a radio show and called upon Christian to help run it. The show is no more, but it was a pretty funny show. And the host's name is Dennis Miller. Dennis and Christian are close friends now. Dennis got married. Christian was the best man. Christian called Dennis and said, hey, we need you for our Super Bowl alternate programming halftime show. So next week, we are recording the first ever collaboration between EZ, Christian, and Dennis Miller. You won't see it until the Super Bowl, though, because when Bad Bunny takes the stage, that's when we will roll that footage that we recorded on Carl's YouTube channel. Are you getting all that? Our asshole of the day is Donut Dan. Dumb fuck. That is my time. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you folks on the Patreon. Hi, Bruce. As Bruce checks in. That's going to do it. Thanks for being here. Have a good one. Bye.